Is it better to declutter on your own or if somebody else is around? This is a question that comes up a lot in the context of decluttering. And ultimately, it depends on two people, yourself and the person you invite to help you. Besides the people involved, it also depends on your state of mind and on your ability to deal with practical issues as well as emotional issues that may come up with yourself. Let's look at the practical issues first. If you are somebody who can determine where you are at this point, you can see a clear goal where you want to end up, and you can map out the different points that you have to go through in order to get from that starting point to your end point. You're good on the practical side, and it's likely that you'll be able to achieve this. But that doesn't take care of the emotional side. If you are somebody who tends to be attached to things, who gets emotional very quickly, and is sometimes surprised by emotional outbursts that you didn't expect, then maybe you're not prepared to do this. Because you might run into a situation where you break down completely, simply because you come across that picture of somebody you lost and you're missing terribly, or an item that is associated with a person or a situation that is an emotional deep point for you, or an emotional high point for all I can tell. Anything that throws you off emotionally has the potential to throw you off on the practical level as well. Where does another person come into this equation? Let's imagine that you may not be the best planner in the world and you get distracted easily. Then sometimes it's helpful to have a professional around, somebody who can guide you through the process and keep you on track. Because let's face it, you will be distracted by things. You will lose motivation. You might end up frustrated at some point. And when you have somebody who knows what they're doing, who is a professional, who has an emotional detachment from you, who isn't busy trying to salvage their relationship with you while giving advice that might end up destroying that relationship, those are all situations where a professional can come in handy. Somebody who knows what they're doing. If, however, you are a good planner and you know you can go through the project, but you're afraid that you might get bored, or you need somebody to hold your hand if something goes wrong emotionally, then somebody you know might be a good person to turn to. However, be careful if you do that. As mentioned before, you already have an existing relationship with that person. They might be good friends. They may be somebody who feels strongly about advising you one way or the other. Both of these can be stumbling blocks because obviously you want to maintain that relationship. So you have to make some points very clear. For example, that the person may give advice but not give you directions. That the other person has the right to retreat if they feel they're jeopardizing their relationship with you. That you have the right to terminate that particular relationship and say, listen, I don't think this is working out. I want you to retreat from this process and I'll keep going on my own, or I'll find a professional, or I'll do something different because I cherish our relationship and I don't want to break it because of this. So there are a couple of items that you want to consider before calling in another person. Usually people try to start out on their own. So what my advice would be is, by all means, give it a go. But be realistic. And if it doesn't go the way you want it to, consider calling in a friend or consider calling in a professional, depending on what feels right to you. I know this is not necessarily the easiest thing to digest, and a lot of pitfalls will come your way if you start decluttering on your own. Pitfalls that you may not expect. But consider it well and turn to friends, turn to professionals if you need to. Stay clutter aware and come back for more. If you want more, there are options. Click the round logo to subscribe to this channel or select the playlist in the middle to see more content or check out the links in the description below. Oh, and feel free to like this video.